Even the vaunted Death Guard aren't immune from the unending hunger of the Tyranid swarm. Today we get to see another new Death Guard detachment and another new opponent. Tallyband summoners square off against Vanguard Onslaught. It's Death Guard versus Tyranids in this 40K in 40 minutes. Greetings 40K fans, your host JT the Voice here, and you know, I've been thinking how alike Tyranids and Death Guard really are. Both seek biomass, but for different end goals. Tyranid must consume to live, and Nurgle consumes to grow his garden. It's kind of a battle of ideological purpose today, as Jordan and his Vanguard Nids take on Tycho and his Tallyband summoners. Whatever happens, it's gonna get messy.
My job is to make stupid faces at the camera. Hello, I'm Tycho, the Child of Chaos, and I get to play the Tallyband today.
Hello, everyone. Jordan from Mid-Table Tactics back at the Play On Studio, and I'm very excited to be here today.
I'm bringing all sorts of Nurgle goodness and all the Great Unclean Ones. It's amazing. Prepare for a tide of muscle, an avalanche of rotten flesh.
Tycho's list brings a bunch of challenges for me because it is a classic Monster Mash stat check. Pretty much all the attacks I have are going to be strength 6 or 5, and most of his things are toughness 12, which means I will be wounding him on 6s and at best 5s.
Tallyband summoners, I get to be half demons, and I have brought, I think, almost exactly half demons.
Tycho's Tallyband summoners consists of the Demon Prince of Nurgle with the Beckoning Blight, 2 Great Unclean Ones, Mortarion, Rotigus, and Typhus. He's got 2 Beasts of Nurgle, a Foetid Bloat-drone with a heavy blight launcher, some Myphitic Blight-haulers, some Plague drones, and some Poxwalkers. Tycho's Demon Prince of Nurgle with Beckoning Blight is Barricade, the Demon Prince, one of our named characters from our named character tier. He's got Plague drones, a Great Unclean One, and a Beast of Nurgle in reserves.
My general strategy, or my main approach, is going to be to body my way onto midfield objectives and not give them up with my massive Nurgle bodies. Body block.
Today we brought the Vanguard Tyranids back. It's been my favorite way to play Tyranids for a while now. This is the latest list I've been running for fun and at tournaments, so I am excited to see how it will stack up to the new Death Guard, and especially one as scary as this.
Jordan's Vanguard Onslaught consists of 2 Broodlords, a Deathleaper, a Neurotyrant, a Winged Hive Tyrant with the Hunting Grounds enhancement, and a Winged Tyranid Prime with the Stalker enhancement. He's got 2 units of Gargoyles, some Biovores, an Exocrine, 2 squads of 10 Gene Sealers, and a squad of 5 Gene Sealers, 2 Lictors, a Neurolictor, some Raveners, some Tyranid Warriors with melee bioweapons, and some Zoanthropes. In reserve, Jordan's got his Zoanthropes with Neurotyrant attached, his Exocrine, the Gargoyles, a Lictor, and the Winged Tyranid Prime with the Tyranid Warriors.
Can my list kill a Great Unclean One? Yeah. Can my list kill Mortarion? Probably. Can my list kill 2 Great Unclean Ones, Rotigus and Mortarion all in the same game? Absolutely not. So we are going to have to do other tactics to try and win this game. So we're going to use our 3 S's today for victory, which is going to be scamming Tycho on primary, shenanigans, and special tactics. What are those special tactics, you might be asking? We're going to find out.
Today's mission is Take and Hold. From the second battle round onwards, players will score 5 points at the end of their command phase for each objective that they hold, up to a maximum of 15 points and 50 for the game. No mission twist today, as we're going to keep it simple and straightforward.
Can't wait to get to grips with this fantastic Tyranid force. It's going to be some really pretty models on the table today. Buckle up, Buttercup, because here we go!
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
You enjoying your new toys?
Oh, am I?
Jordan's won the roll-off for attacker defender, choosing Tycho to be defender and deploy first.
So we're going to start with Typhus and the boys. Coming in back here.
We're just going to have a Biovore hang out on our home objective.
Barricade the Demon Prince.
Yeah.
Except for these Poxwalkers right here over here.
Alrighty. We're going to have our Raveners hanging out.
Here we go, Rotigus.
A regular Lictor hanging out, being cheeky right now.
All right, the bride of Rotigus, Great Unclean One. Here, Plague Toad. This is a Beast of Nurgle.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Tycho. These guys, and specifically these guys, really want your genes.
My genes.
All of them.
They might be forfeit.
Yep.
Let's go with a drone of bloaty goodness.
These guys also want your genes.
Oh no! Wait, there's more of them?
There's so many.
Oh no! Mortarion.
This one's going to go here, gonna hang out. Gonna be off the terrain so we can't be seen. These guys also want your genes.
Alrighty, this is big.
Yes.
'Cause if you go first, I might just get jumped.
Maybe.
I go first.
There's gonna be
I'm
a
probably not gonna
bunch of big stuff in the Vanguard.
One sword
Yeah.
point.
Well,
Ooh, look, it's me.
good luck.
Good luck.
This episode is brought to you by Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your go-to source for resin dice. That's right, hand-swirled resin and silicon molds provide a heavier, more balanced, and most importantly, bubble-free die that is then precision machined and laser engraved. They offer square corners, round corners, matte finish, six-sided or polyhedral sets, and of course, custom dice for your gaming needs. Make sure to check out Baron of Dice and use code PLAYON to save yourself $2.50 off any order. We absolutely love Baron of Dice dice. In fact, our Play On Orange and Gray are made by the Baron. Now, back to the action. Tycho is going to be going first and scouts forward with his Beast of Nurgle. Scout moves now for Jordan. Gene Stealers on the far left, scout backwards behind the wall. Center Gene Stealers repositioning to be slightly safer. Small Gene Stealer squad, scout forward just a little bit, also in behind the wall. A bunch of staging and making it difficult for Tycho to close too quickly.
Ha-ha! All right, first turn, here we go. I get to go first. I'm gonna dive forward and get on these objectives and score all the points. It's gonna be great.
Tycho, this is fun. You're the last player Play On Tabletop that I haven't played yet.
Finally gonna complete the gauntlet.
Yeah, you're my final boss.
Tycho's pulled Display of Might and Bring It Down. Oh, that is a big hour bad. Unfortunately, we missed the part about Display of Might, where it says if it's the first battle round, you need to draw a new secondary mission card and shuffle it back into your deck. Apologies, folks. We'll make sure to catch it next time.
Get forward. I was gonna be trying to be cagey, but I guess I'm not. Display of Might demands it. Let's start with a Plague Toad.
All right, turn one, Tycho is going first, which I am okay with. He will be able to clog up the board with giant bodies, but he was always going to be able to do that this game.
Rotigus advances towards the center as well, using the Demon Prince's Fevered Strategist to reduce his command point cost to 0 and using Fleshy Avalanche to move through that terrain.
Smash!
Mortarion moving forward into no man's land towards the objective on the far right.
Myphitic Blight-hauler advancing! Oh, 6 inches!
Yeah, why not?
Why not? He's gonna tag the objective too.
Great Unclean One advancing forward to provide extra toughness to Rotigus and the Beast of Nurgle.
We do need to pay some hindrance to the home objective, so I think Mr. Drone here is gonna... All right, Barricade the Demon Prince, he's gonna go join the party.
Barricade the Demon Prince advances forward into center table, as well as Typhus of the Poxwalkers. Demon Prince will gain Lone Operative from being nice and close.
All right, so Tycho did what we all expected, and he's put giant bodies in the middle. He's moved Mortarion up, which I wasn't sure he was going to do, but there he is.
Discarding Bring It Down for a command point takes him up to 2, and scoring 4 points on Display of Might takes our score to 4-0.
We are in a good spot here in turn 1.
Jordan's drawn Secure No Man's Land and Assassination.
Assassinate is going to be difficult, but there is a Typhus, and I do have a strat to give my whole unit precision, so hopefully I'll be able to pick him off and get 5 points.
Battle Shock test required for Rotigus from the Neurolictor's Neural Disruption ability, and he passes.
This Gene Stealer unit is going to advance.
G-Sealers on the far left advance move 10 inches towards that objective, setting up a charge into the Poxwalkers potentially.
Oh man, those Gene Stealers are fast. They are diving for Typhus. I hope he can make it through this one.
Tycho spends a command point here. Typhus overwatches 2 dead Gene Stealers.
They really wanted your genes.
Oh.
Gargoyles in Jordan's deployment zone advance, moving 14 inches towards the objective on the far right. No more overwatches to worry about. Small units of Gene Stealers move up towards the Myphitic Blight-hauler. Looks like they're going to charge it. Jordan spends a command point here on Seated Broods to bring in the Zoanthropes and the Neurotyrant in from reserve a turn early. Zoanthropes in the bottom right corner within range of the Blight-hauler and Mortarion.
So we are going to go into the shooting phase.
Shooting phase now, Biovore drops a Spore Mine in the bottom left, helping to zone out any potential reserves from deep striking into his deployment zone. Neurotyrant and Zoanthrope splitting fire, Psychic Scream into the Blight-hauler, and the Zoanthrope's focused Warp Blast on Mortarion.
We're going to start with the Neurotyrant's Psychic Scream. 5s, 4.
That's a 6.
Focused Witch Fires into Morty. 6s are lethal. 1 lethal to start. Spores.
Can he stand up to the laser blasts of mindfulness? Oh!
All right. Can Morty please take 2 damage?
2 damage, ignores on 5s. Down to 15 remaining on Mortarion.
Mortarion using Inflamed Reprisal to fire back at the Zoanthropes after they're done shooting. Mortarion fires back with a lantern, no damage. Rotwin, 7 shots, 1 dead Zoanthrope.
Gargoyles are going to shoot their flesh borers into Morty because we're going to disrespect them. So,
Gargoyles shooting Mortarion now, not looking to damage, just want to try to move using Winged Swarm to get forward again and steal that objective away from Morty.
So that will conclude the shooting phase, but that's not why we're here. We're here to steal some genes.
Charge phase now, Gene Stealers on the far left, 7 to get to Typhus, Jordan rolls a 10. They're in. Tycho spending a command point here on Heroic Intervention to charge the Gene Stealers, makes it in with a 10-inch as well.
Barricade into the fray.
Okay, I'm going to use my last command point.
Beast here for a command point in the Gene Stealers to give them precision. Broodlord and 3 Gene Stealers attack first, trying to precision out Typhus before the rest fight.
Gene Stealers. And we're twin linked.
6 damage into Typhus. Tycho spends a command point to reroll, and he still goes down.
Down goes Typhus. Ooh, not quite. Not quite. New model curse.
All right, then we have 7 Gene Stealers left, so we have 28 attacks.
All the Gene Stealers remaining, 15 wounds go through. Tycho ignores 8. 7 Poxwalkers down, 12 left.
But they might come back, so I'm just going to leave them there for now.
Fair enough. All right, and now you get to fight me back.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start with the Demon Prince.
Demon Prince fighting, and Jordan only loses 2 Gene Stealers.
How many Poxwalkers left? Can they reform their ranks?
Poxwalkers fighting Gene Stealers, only 1 damage, no Poxwalkers return.
So that will be the end of my turn.
Solid secondary turn for Jordan. Secure No Man's Land for 5 and Assassination for 5. He's out of command points. So's Tycho, but it's 10-4 Jordan's favor.
I am 6 points ahead of Tycho now after scoring very well in my secondaries. So I just need to keep ahead of Tycho. And if we can do that for 5 turns, we should win this game.
We were infested with Gene Stealers. They have stolen Typhus's pants. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I've got a lot of bugs to kill. I am overrun on this side. I need to figure out what to do about that.
Tycho pulls Cleanse and Area Denial.
Well, you know what? As a Nurgle army, I kind of am diametrically opposed to cleansing, so we'll see if that goes down.
He gets a Challenger card as well. He's pulled All In.
Ooh.
He can use the stratagem to pile in or consolidate 6 inches, or if he actions with a unit more than 18 inches away from all enemy units, he will score 3 victory points. Tycho holds 2 objectives to score 10 primary points, takes him up to 14.
So in light of that, we are gonna start some movement.
Foetid Bloat-drone with the Blight Launcher moves slightly just to get line of sight on the Zoanthropes.
12 inches from your lictor.
Barricade falling back out of combat onto the objective on the far left.
I see a little spot for Barricade to dash out and bring in some reinforcements. Direct Jordan's day. Let's do this.
Jordan's spending a command point here, but not actually spending it, using the Hive Tyrant's ability to reduce the cost to 0, Hypersensory Cilia on the Gene Stealers in the center table, moving away behind a wall back onto his home objective.
Falling back, falling forward, assertive.
Poxwalkers fall back to the Gene Stealers, moving towards the Demon Prince to make sure that it keeps its lone op ability so Jordan can't shoot it outside of 12. Beast and Nurgle moving towards the Gene Stealers near the left objective marker. Mortarion stays put on the objective. Rotigus shuffles forward a little bit. He's going to get some line of sight on the Neurolictor. Great Unclean One moving forward as well towards the Poxwalkers.
That's moved. At the end of my movement phase, I'm going to make some deep strike shenanigans happen.
Tycho using Beckoning Blight ability here to bring the Great Unclean One in from reserves onto the far left objective within 6 of Deathleaper. Plague drones coming down to flank and also deal with the Gene Sealers. Beast of Nurgle deep striking to Tycho's deployment zone, help him score his challenger card. Jordan using Pheromone Trail on his Lictor to rapid ingress for 0 command points, drops in near Tycho's deployment zone on the far right. Great Unclean One marks the Gene Sealers and Deathleaper as the target for Nurgle's Rot, reducing their toughness by 1. Tycho spends a command point to reroll the number of shots, but still doesn't help him, no damage. Zoanthrope save it all.
Okay, well, there we go. Mortarion doesn't like that at all. So he says, I'll show you how it's done.
Mortarion shooting the Zoanthropes. Lantern first. Zoanthrope save. Rotwind. Another Zoanthrope dies, and 1 left on a wound. Just 4 Zoanthropes and the Neurotyrant remaining. Myphitic Blight-hauler now firing into the Zoanthropes. Bile Spurt no damage. Crack Profile Missile takes down a Zoanthrope. Melta takes 1 more. 2 Zoanthropes with the Neurotyrant left.
Rotigus.
Rotigus into the Neurolictor. 2 damage. 5 left on the Neurolictor. Great Unclean One in the middle.
Is only going to use her vomit. These gargoyles.
On the Gargoyles, sounds good.
Putrid vomit. And Torrent.
7 Gargoyles die. We're gonna pull off the middle objective.
Hi, Deathleaper.
Hello.
He's going to unleash his putrid vomit.
Gonna copy, Mom.
Far left, Great Unclean One. Deathleaper takes 2 wounds.
They're going to hurl their death's heads at Deathleaper.
It'll be -1 to hit.
-1 to hit.
Plague drones hit Deathleaper for another damage.
On to the charge.
Charge phase now. Beast and Nurgle into the Gene Sealers on the far left, and they're in.
Great Unclean One herself.
Great Unclean One charges the Gene Sealers as well.
Rawr.
Rotigus trying to charge the Neurolictor and needs an 8, and he's in.
So he's made the charge, and he's been able to stay on the objective. What a beautiful roll for Rotigus.
Great Unclean One on the far left charges Deathleaper with a 6.
Minimum effort. Just how Greater Daemons do.
Plague drones charging the Gene Sealers in with an 8.
Surrounded, I declare them doom.
Blight-hauler charges the Gene Sealers, makes it an easy charge. Morty into the Gene Sealers with a 7. He's in combat now, baby. Start of the fight phase, Rotigus marks the Neurolictor for Virulent Blessings. That's going to give additional damage into him.
I think we're in combat.
Deathleaper has fights first.
Deathleaper has fight first, so he fights first into the Great Unclean One for 2 damage, takes it to 18. Great Unclean One in combat with the Gene Sealers. Sweep attack, 8 wounds, 3 dead Gene Sealers. Jordan kills his unit out of engagement range with the Beast of Nurgle. Smart move that. Beast of Nurgle will not be able to fight.
And we're just going to pile in just like so with the Plague Drones.
Yep.
Blight Swords first and kills the wounded Gene Sealer and does a damage to another.
Alrighty. And here come the foul mouth parts.
Foul mouth parts into another Gene Sealer, and a Broodlord is left.
I'm going to do the Great Unclean One fighting into Deathleaper.
Great Unclean One fighting Deathleaper takes him down. Rotigus into the Neurolictor, 1 wound left.
Oh my.
Wounds. 4s. 1 goes through. Down to 1 wound.
Oh, so close.
So close.
But unfortunately, he failed to kill the Neurolictor. How could you, Rotigus? How could you? Let's just do Mortarion. Let's just finish the job.
Morty into Gene Sealers, 11 saves to make, and they're gone. Mortarion consolidates into the Gargoyles.
Good. Neurolictor into Rotigus.
Neurolictor attacks Rotigus and does 1 damage.
So we got our single Gene Sealer hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
Broodlord Gene Sealer into the Plague Drones, down goes a drone.
I messed up. Rotigus didn't manage to kill the Neurolictor and fall back onto that objective. So area denial, I am not fully within 3 inches. It's like half an inch out. So no points there.
Tycho holds on to Air Denial, discards Cleanse for a command point, and fails to score his Challenger card. It is 14-10 at the end of Tycho's turn 2.
I'm pretty happy with my position. Tycho is in also a great position. I'm gonna have to do shenanigans and scams to help further my game plan to victory.
Jordan's pulled Mark for Death. Alpha targets will be Beast of Nurgle and both Great Unclean Ones. Gamma target, Jordan's target, the Myphitic Blight-hauler. He's also pulled Bring It Down. Neural Disruption makes Rotigus take a Battle Shock test, and he fails.
Okay, that makes my turn so much easier. Thank you, Tycho. Appreciate that. Rotigus has been Battle Shocked, which means he has +1 to wound, so I think I might actually be able to take him down and steal his genes.
Neurotyrant gives out the Neuraloid to the Gargoyles and the Ravagers.
Now, I owe you quite a few Battle Shocks. So we'll start with the Neurotyrant units. They're okay.
All Battle Shocks are passed. Holding one objective gives Jordan 5 primary points. He's up to 15. Lictor advancing towards the top right. Neurolictor falls back towards his home objective. Raveners advancing towards the Blight-hauler.
Lictor advance, just for insurance purposes. So you can move 12.
Gene Stealers advance toward Rotigus.
And they are excited to get Rotigus's genes. They're moving 12.
I'm gonna protect Rotigus as best I can.
Great Unclean One overwatching into the Gene Stealers for no command points. Gotta love reduced cost stratagems. One Gene Stealer takes a wound. Broodlord and the Gene Stealer fall back away from that big mass of demons.
Shuffle so we can see the Bloat-drone, just make sure it dies.
Hive Tyrant advances to the middle. Gargoyles fall back.
At the end of your Gargoyles move,
Blight-hauler moves 5 inches away thanks to Mortarion's disease influence.
Actually, we'll just move him so he can't get charged to the wall from the Great Unclean One, because that would be sad.
Spore Mine advancing towards the Great Unclean One.
So we do have a bunch of reserves.
Exocrine in from reserve into Jordan's deployment zone.
Let's do some shooting. We are going to do our 2 last cannons into the Blight-hauler.
Zone Thropes open up the shooting now into the Myphitic Blight-hauler and take it down to 7 wounds. Spore Mine is placed in such a way as to block Mortarion from getting too close.
Next up is Exocrine into Rotigus.
oh no!
D6 +3.
Exocrine attacks Rotigus, 2 damage, only 19 wounds left.
So I think that is the shooting phase, so we're going to go into the charge phase.
Charge phase now, Raveners into the Blight-hauler, success. Tycho spending a command point here on Heroic Intervention. Mortarion charges the Raveners and he's in. Lictor charging the Blight-hauler, he's in as well. Lictor into the Bloat-drone, he makes the charge.
Just put him on, yeah, that'll work. We'll do the Broodlord and the single Gene Stealer into the Poxwalkers, and oh my god, they made it.
Shredded?
Yeah.
Hive Tyrant into Rotigus succeeds.
And then lastly, we have the Gene Stealers and Broodlord into Rotigus, and oh my god, they made it.
Gene Stealers make their charge. Broodlord's using Hypnotic Gaze here. Hypnotic Gaze makes Rotigus and the Poxwalkers a -1 to hit. Rotigus using Virulent Blessings on the Gene Stealers.
So we'll just start with the Broodlord and the single Gene Stealer into the Poxwalkers.
Broodlord and the single Gene Stealer kill 4 Poxwalkers.
Next, we're going to do the Hive Tyrant into Rotigus.
Hive Tyrant attacks Rotigus, 6 damage, 13 wounds left.
Lictor into the Blight-hauler.
Lictor attacking the Blight-hauler, 6 damage, 1 wound remaining.
Other Lictor into the Bloat-drone.
Other Lictor attacking the Bloat-drone, no damage.
Right, next up we have the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord into Rotigus.
Gene Stealers into Rotigus, 10 damage, 3 wounds left. Broodlord attacks Rotigus now.
We're hitting on 2s, rolling 1s. And this guy is twin wings.
So I need to make these saves right here. 4-up saves against your claws. I make neither. This is going to be a grand total of 6. 6 feel no pains. I need to make 4 of.
Oh, he's tried.
Oh,
he's
so close!
Well, it came down to the last Feel No Pain, but Rotigus is down, his genes are mine, the center is mine, I am in an excellent position. And then we just have our last combat, which is our Raveners into the Blight-hauler. Twin Link's so good. So far.
Failed 1. Mortarion is doing what he can. He's really trying to hold up his end, but the saves are thick and fast.
Tycho spending a command point to reroll, keep it alive, still fails, and it explodes, killing the Gargoyles. Lictor takes damage, Ravener dies, and Mortarion takes 3.
not like that. He went boom and just splattered everywhere. He did 3 wounds to Mortarion. What's happening? Everything's going pear-shaped or Great Unclean One shaped, my-shaped, poorly shaped. Here goes Mortarion taking down the Raveners.
Mortarion into the Raveners, and the Raveners are picked up. Jordan does score 2 on Mark for Death and 4 on Bring It Down. Takes him to 16, secondary 5, primaries 21. Tycho still has Area Denial in hand and sits at 14.
This is a storm of claws. He's managing to get through my invulnerable saves. I don't know what to do here. That center of the board, I kept Area Denial like a moron. Because I thought Rotigus was going to stand tall, but no. It's been a bumpy ride so far, but the end is in sight. We can take this down. Those gene stealers gotta die. They've stolen genes from Rotigus. They've stolen genes from a Myphitic Blight-hauler. I want my genes back. Give me my genes back!
Start of Tycho's turn 3 here. He is behind by 6, so he will again get to draw a challenger card. He's pulled Area Denial and Attempting Target. Jordan choosing the middle objective. Challenger card is Force a Breach. That will allow him to either move a unit through enemy models and terrain features, or he can secure an extraction zone by doing an action wholly within 9 of 1 or more battlefield edges to score himself an extra 3 victory points. Jordan has called Shadows in the Warp this turn. Everything's got to test Battle Shock. Poxwalkers fail. Great Unclean One fails. Mortarion passes. Bloat-drone fails.
It's terrible. That flips the home objective. This is the worst. More Battle Shock. I got it right here.
Beast of Nurgle passes. The Plague Drones fail. Tycho only scores 5 points for the far right objective and 5 points for the far left objective. That's going to give him an extra 10 on primary. Takes him to 24.
So he's gonna move there. So that will blow up my spore mine. And it does 1 mortal.
17 wounds remaining.
Jordan, Will of the Hive Mind. That's going to allow him to use Hypersensory Cilia and reactive move the Hive Tyrant and the Gene Stealers.
Barricade. He's going to run back the other way.
Demon Prince moving into the center objective.
Running hither. Running yon.
Beast of Nurgle to the far left to try to gain control.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Plague Drone to the center. Great Unclean One into the middle as well. Beast of Nurgle on a Tycho's home objective.
Now for Mortarion.
Mortarion moves toward the Exocrine at the bottom right.
That looks to be all the movements I can muster.
Good. I'm going to spend my last combo point to Rapid Ingress.
10 Gargoyles are on to the far right objective.
Into a shooting phase.
Yep.
Both Great Unclean Ones will reduce the toughness of the Hive Tyrant and the Gene Stealers respectively in the midfield. Shooting phase now, Great Unclean One into Gene Stealers, only 1 down.
1 model. Death Heads, both within range.
Plague Drones into Gene Stealers, 1 dead.
The Demon Prince is going to attempt to take down some Gene Stealers as well.
Demon Prince into the Gene Stealers, 2 more Gene Stealers die.
Great Unclean One, she's going to take her putrid vomit and try and get rid of those gargoyles.
Great Unclean One into Gargoyles, 2 Gargoyles go down.
I'll just shoot at the Hive Tyrant. Plague Flail.
Great Unclean One now into the Hive Tyrant, 2 damage.
Drone. So the drone is going to go from downtown onto these zoanthropes back here.
Bloat-drone into Zoanthropes, down they go.
I think Mortarion is going to unload all of his goodness at this here Lictor.
Mortarion into the Lictor. Lictor takes 3.
The Rotwind.
So 6s.
And the Lictor is downed by the Mortarion's Rotwind.
Let's start charging. Great Unclean One is going to charge your Gene Stealers.
Great Unclean One tries to charge the Gene Stealers, fails. Using the Demon Prince's ability for reduced cost stratagem, reroll still fails.
Barricade is going to do all the heavy lifting for him.
Demon Prince into the Gene Stealers succeeds.
Drones. Look like they need a 7.
Plague Drones reach the Gene Stealers and the Hive Tyrant.
Great Unclean One at your Hive Tyrant.
Great Unclean One into the Hive Tyrant succeeds.
Let's take down that Exocrine.
Mortarion charging the Exocrine, he's in. Beast of Nurgle into the Lictor succeeds.
Speaking of that Lictor, I have fights first. So my Lictor will go into your Bloat-drone and try and do better.
Lictor attacking the Beast of Nurgle, 2 damage.
Down to 8 wounds remaining on that Foetid Bloat-drone.
Broodlord makes the Poxwalkers and Demon Prince -1 to hit with his Hypnotic Gaze.
Beast of Nurgle, my putrid appendages.
Beast of Nurgle attacking the Lictor takes 6 wounds. Down he goes! Beast of Nurgle takes out the Lictor.
This is all into the Gene Stealers with these nasty, nasty boys.
Plague drones into the Gene Stealers. 1 Gene Stealer down. Great Unclean One into the Hive Tyrant.
Can't do any fun things.
3 4-ups. 1 goes through.
5 damage, 3 wounds remaining.
Well, let's see what Barricade can do.
Demon Prince into the Gene Stealers. 1 Gene Stealer and Broodlord remain.
Mortarion. Can I kill an Exocrine in 1 shot with 5 attacks?
Probably.
Mortarion into the Exocrine. Takes him out. Does not explode, however.
Then we have fight backs.
Gene Stealers into Poxwalkers. 4 Poxwalkers left.
Poxwalkers fighting back.
Poxwalkers into Gene Stealers, killing one of them, and a Poxwalker return.
And then we'll have my other Gene Stealer and Broodlord go into the Demon Prince.
Gene Stealer and Broodlord attack the Demon Prince. Prince takes 4 wounds. Oh, poor Barricade.
4 damage brings him down to 6 wounds remaining.
My Hive Tyrant will fight the drones.
Hive Tyrant into the Bloat-drones. Drones take 5 damage, but nothing dies. Tycho discards Area Denial and a tempting target, and the Challenger card. He still sits at 24 to Jordan's 21.
Okay, the scams are scamming, the shenanigans are shenaniganing.
Jordan pulls no prisoners and behind enemy lines. Neurolictor does not force Battle Shock on anyone. Hive Tyrant using Will of the Hive Mind for insane bravery for a reduced cost stratagem.
He does some talks in the mirror, does some self-affirmations, and he's feeling brave.
You're good enough, you're smart enough, and the Hive Mind loves you.
Everyone else passes Battle Shock. That gives Jordan 15 points on 3 objectives. He's up to 36. Gargoyles advancing towards Tycho's home objective 15 inches, wholly within his deployment zone. That's gonna help with behind enemy lines. Spore Mine moves towards Mortarion and explodes. Mortarion ignores the mortal wound.
The Gene Stealer and Broodlord are going to fall back.
Hive Tyrant falls back, also looking to recharge. Neurotyrant advancing 8 inches away from Mortarion. Broodlord at the top, moving towards Tycho's home objective. Tyranid Warriors and Winged Prime in from reserves in Jordan's deployment zone.
So that is our movement phase. So we'll go into the shooting phase. We're gonna just shoot a Spore Mine into your backfield over there, I guess. We're gonna have the Broodlord charge the Bloat-drone on your home objective. A 7.
Broodlord now charging the Bloat-drone on Tycho's home objective.
Hive Tyrant charge the Demon Prince.
Hive Tyrant into the Demon Prince.
And then we have the Gene Stealer and Broodlord charge the Demon Prince.
Broodlord and Gene Stealers into the Demon Prince as well. Warriors into the Great Unclean One, need a 9, roll a 7. Jordan, command point reroll, 7 again. It is Nurgle's number, and in this case, seems to be protecting the demons.
So combats. We will start with the Hive Tyrant into the Demon Prince.
Hive Tyrant goes into the Demon Prince, 3 damage to the Prince, 4 wounds left. Gene Stealers and Broodlords into the Demon Prince. Demon Prince explodes on death. Kills a Gene Stealer. Hive Tyrant takes 2. Plague Drones take 1. And the Great Unclean One also takes a mortal wound.
Broodlord into the Bloat-drone.
Broodlord into the Bloat-drone on Tycho's home objective. 2 damage. 6 wounds left on the Bloat-drone.
Time to probe the Broodlord. Hey, look.
Bloat-drone does 1 damage to the Broodlord, takes it to 5. Solid turn for Jordan, extending his lead. He's got 6 points on secondaries there for 22 points on secondaries, 20 primary. It's 42-24 as we head to Tycho's turn 4.
All right, the Tyranids keep coming. They're everywhere. They're taking me off my objectives. I gotta be really sharp here in this late game. Otherwise, they're gonna overwhelm me.
Tycho's pulled Overwhelming Forced and Secure No Man's Land. Tycho's Challenger card is Great Haste. He can add D6 inches of extra movement to a unit, or get 3 points for having a unit within Jordan's deployment zone. Poxwalkers fail Battle Shock. He holds 2 objectives for 10, taking his primary score to 30. Great Unclean One moves onto Jordan's home objective. Jordan, with the free command point spend, Will of the Hive Mind to use Hypersensory Cilia again to move that Neurolictor and that Warrior farther away. Tycho using his Challenger as a stratagem here for Great Haste. Gonna give an extra D6 inches to Mortarion. He's gonna move 14 onto that far right objective. Plague drones move closer to the Hive Tyrant, preparing for charges. Poxwalkers advance to the middle as well.
They don't have any OC right now, but this is gonna put my demons, they're gonna give my demons the aura. Yeah.
Great Unclean One reduces the toughness of the Broodlord and the Hive Tyrant in the middle.
Starting the shooting phase with the Plague drones, we're gonna shoot at your Broodlord.
Plague drones shoot the Broodlord in the center, 1 damage into the Broodlord. Great Unclean One spewing vomit on the Broodlord from Jordan's home objective. 9 wounds and Jordan doesn't make enough saves. Down goes the Broodlord.
Great Unclean One is going to vomit all over your Tyrant.
Great Unclean One in the center shoots the Hive Tyrant. Oh, he takes him out! Exploding on death is a mortal wound to the Plague drones, 3 to the Great Unclean One. 1 of the Poxwalkers die as well. That Great Unclean One is got 14 wounds left.
Mortarion!
Mortarion firing on the Neurotyrant. Lantern misses. Rotwind takes him to 7 wounds.
Foetid Bloat-drone with heavy blade launcher into your Tyrant. Shooting on 3s.
Goes through 3 damage, down to 4.
That is the end of my shooting phase. Let's charge stuff. Mortarion, you can charge your Gargoyles.
Alrighty.
Charge face down, Mortarion into the Gargoyles.
Beast of Nurgle is going to charge your Broodlord. Hey, look, it makes it.
You made it. So good.
Poxwalkers charge the Gargoyles, and they fail. Broodlord Hypnotic gazing the Beast of Nurgle to get -1 to hit. Mortarion wipes out the Gargoyles.
Toad Boy at your Broodlord is...
Beast of Nurgle into the Broodlord. 3 wounds left on the Broodlord.
Alright, we'll go into the Bloat-drone. We're hitting on 3s, Twin Links. I'm taking these dice home.
Tycho with a command point to save and keep the drone alive.
Takes 4 damage, down to 2 left.
5 points on Overwhelming Force and 5 points on Secure No Man's Land takes Tycho to 14 secondary and 44 total points to Jordan's 42.
Tyranids, turn 4. I'm going to draw some cards.
Jordan pulls Overwhelming Force and Recover Assets. Neurotyrant does not Battle Shock the Great Unclean One. Neurotyrant passes Battle Shock. Not on any objectives, Jordan scores no primary.
So the other thing that's going to happen is the warrior unit is going to make an advance.
Tyranid warriors advance, heading towards that far left objective marker. Broodlord falls back behind the wall to set up for a charge. Neurotyrant not going anywhere. Neurotyrant runs from the Great Unclean One. I can't blame him. Biovore moving to position as a bit of a roadblock for move and charges.
We're going to shoot a Spore Mine into the back corner here.
Plop.
Looks like the Neurotyrant and Neurotyrant will both be recovering assets. Charge phase now. Warriors charge the Beast of Nurgle on the far left. Broodlord charges into the Bloat-drone yet again. Tycho with a command point here to heroically intervene into the Broodlord. He's in.
Broodlord is going to give the Beast of Nurgle -1 to be -1 to his hits. We're going into the Bloat-drone. Bloat-drone has 2 wounds left.
Broodlord fights the Bloat-drone, takes it out. Warriors into the Beast of Nurgle.
If I can make all these 5s, it would be amazing.
They kill the Beast of Nurgle and he explodes, doing a mortal wound.
A crushing blow. Those Tyranid warriors are, no joke. Down went my Beast of Nurgle in a heap.
You get to fight me back with your Beast of Nurgle into my Broodlord.
Quite.
Beast of Nurgle that heroically intervened into the Broodlord takes him down. Good turn for Jordan, but he's losing assets. 5 on Overwhelming Force, 3 on Recover Assets. Takes him to 30 secondary, 20 primary is 50. He's still up by 6, and Tycho will get the Challenger card in the final round. Assassination and Established Locus are pulled.
Alrighty, I've finally drawn some secondaries I can score. Let's get into their deployment zone and do this.
Tycho pulls Harbored Power. Tycho can choose to give one of his units lethal or sustained hits in exchange for hazardous, or score an extra victory point for each objective that he holds. Poxwalkers have failed Battle Shock again. Plague Drone's okay. He does hold 3 objectives for 15 victory points. taking his primary score to 45. He's at 59 to Jordan's 50.
So I think that's my Great Unclean One. Is just going to wander forward to be fully within your deployment zone and establish a locus for 4 points.
Well, Tycho is getting a 15 on primary. Tycho's done a good job of removing my pieces from the board, and I might not have enough left to score at the end.
Mortarion towards the Neurotyrant, going for assassination.
The Poxwalkers are going to advance.
Poxwalkers advance towards the Warriors. Bloat-drone also towards the Warriors. Jordan spends 2 command points here on Hypersensory Cilia to move the Warriors away.
That's cool. Let's do some shooting. Mortarion's going to take down your Neurotyrant.
Nothing with a lantern.
Here comes the fart.
Rotwind does immortal. Great Unclean One establishes locus.
We're going to move on to the charge phase. We're going to charge Mortarion at your Neurotyrant. 4.
That's a 12.
12. Oh, I wanted to save that for something fun over here. But we are going to spend 1 command point on Fleshy Avalanche, which is going to allow me to charge through this here wall at your guys back there. It's going to be take a 10 on the dice. Here comes the Queen. Ooh, it's an 8. She's
Last command point, rerolls and fails.
Mortarion is going to try and pick up your nasty, nasty man.
Mortarion fighting the Neurotyrant. He needs to make 6 saves, but down he goes. Tycho assassinates for 5 and established locus for 4. That takes him to 9 points on secondary this turn, 23 secondary. He scores 2 points on his challenger to be at 25, and his primary is at 45, takes him up to 70 to Jordan's 50. Does Jordan have 20 points in him on turn 5? Remember, he scores on the bottom of the turn.
Alrighty, I've set myself up as best I can here. I have a 20-point lead going into the bottom of 5, but he can dash really fast onto objectives, and I am pretty killable at this point of the game.
All right, so turn 5.
Jordan has pulled Cleanse and Extend battle lines. Neurolictor again fails to battle shock the Great Unclean One.
It's a pass! Great Unclean One for the win! He passed all his battle shocks. All of them. Fantastic.
In return, the Neurolictor passes his battle shock. Warriors advance and get a big 6. Neurolictor moves, gets a big 11. He's behind the wall. He will not be able to be overwatched.
We make our charges. We are going to do the Neurolictor into the Great Unclean One.
All the marbles, here we go. Neurolictor charges the Great Unclean One. He's in.
And then we are going to do the Warriors.
Warrior charges into the Poxwalkers, and they're in. Tycho with a command point to heroically intervene with the Great Unclean One.
Okay. And then the only thing that matters now is I'm going to spend a command point on Surprise Assault and make the Great Unclean One take a Battle Shock test.
Battle Shock test. Any minuses?
No.
Looking for a 6. 11.
Poxwalkers die to the Warriors. 5 points primary at the end of turn. No cleanse, no extend. That's gonna put Jordan up to 55. That's gonna put Jordan's final score to 65, but your winner is Tycho with a score of 80. Wowee, wow. 15 points in it. Literally led the entire game, and the final turn, just too much meat on that table.
Well, Jordan, what a fantastic game. Thank you so much for coming out and playing with us today, and thank you for watching.
It was fun to battle Tycho for the first time.
Thanks, Jordan.
He is now my Moby Dick, my white whale, so we're gonna have to come back and try and smash him next time.
I had fun. I hope you did too, and until we see you next time, play on.
Well played, Jordan. Well played, Tycho. That was a ton of fun to watch. 3 Great Unclean Ones is just... Thanks to this episode's sponsor, Baron of Dice. Make sure to go to baronofdice.com or follow the link in the description below and enter code PLAYON to save yourself a couple of bucks. Of course, a great big thank you to you for watching. If you like what we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. If you really like what we do, please consider supporting us through YouTube membership or Patreon. You'll get exclusive releases as well as behind-the-scenes interviews, early access to most of our shows, and of course, access to our Discord, the most happening 40k community around. Well, that's it for all of us here at the Play On Studios. On behalf of them, it's me, JT the Voice, saying, till the next time you see us in the far-flung future of a grimdark universe, play on!